actually is the DIA, the Defense, and they went after, ran the CIA, and we're wondering about how effective that agency any longer is. Real. The FBI and the CIA have been deeply compromised, which is why Deng Jingwei is actually defected only to the arms of the Defense Intelligence Agency and not to those other two.
Now, was it Brennan who said that he was a communist when he was younger?
That's correct.
How does a guy like that rise to the head of the CIA, man?
Your guess is as good as mine. I've had the opportunity to know and actually to work alongside to a limited extent some gentlemen in the FBI, and as I know some in the CIA as well. For years, they've been saying that the upper level of their agencies has been corrupted. And they all have various theories about how deeply they've been corrupted and to what extent the corruption is. Is it just politics? Is it actually treason? But I think with the defection of Deng, we're beginning to see a real view into how bad those two agencies have become, how compromised they've become.
Well, I always think it's interesting that we look at these folks and we really don't see, and we have no idea who we're really dealing with. That's what's always has impressed me. We don't know who we're really dealing with. Brendan comes out and says, well, yeah, I was a communist when I was younger. Do you think that I would have passed the background check if I'd said that? Or if you'd said that, Frank?
I don't think we would have gotten into the building to take the interview, let alone pass a security check. No, absolutely not at all. But there's this elite in Washington that it doesn't seem to matter who their loyalties are to, what they've done, what their qualifications are. It's I guess you could call it a form of good old boys network that really has taken over D.C. But, to some extent, the Republicans are liable too, in that they've never made a real move to be involved in the bureaucracy. If you have a young Democrat up and comer, you're going to have the Democrats and the left. They're going to get him, easy jobs. They're going to get him salary. They're going to open doors for him and make sure that he has a career. If you have a young guy who is a centrist or even conservative, the Republican Party just says, well, fend for yourself. Good luck to you. We hope you make it. And that's about it. So, and I think in some ways, the negligence of Republican leadership is also responsible for letting these bad guys take control. And, you know what happens when you get a left-wing president, his appointees, somehow he manages to get them civil service titles. So even after he leaves office, they stay in the bureaucracy, maybe in a lesser role, but they're there. They wheedle their way in. They get into key positions. When the next liberal president, Democrat president gets in office, they're already there, ready to go. Republicans, frankly, don't protect their own. So the bureaucracy of this country has been basically Democrat left, and frankly, the scions of a lot of rich families. You look at the connections that people like John Kerry have, and the Bidens, for example, with Hunter Biden, they always seem to be making a lot of money off us with no background checks, nothing at all.
Well, that's the game. And if you think that's bad, try being a black Republican and getting a job in government. But if you're a Democrat, if you were a black Democrat who switched to the Republican Party, the party is yours. You're their oyster.
Absolutely, absolutely correct. Which is why, the whole thing, we've talked about this a number of times, why Donald Trump got such a rough reception, not just from Democrats, but from Republicans. He was not in the club. He was not a good old boy. And so therefore they had to take him down. Charles? Hello? Charles? Charles, you there? Hello?
Can you hear me, Frank? Oh man. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, I got you.
No, we're back? Okay.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah, we're back. But I can hear you. Go ahead.
Well, as I was saying, I know where we got cut off, but one of the reasons why Donald Trump got such a tough reception is because he wasn't one of the good old boys in the Republican Party. You know, you have folks in both parties who are making way too much money out of dealing with the enemy. Hillary Clinton selling uranium to Russia, Hunter Biden and the Biden family getting rich off Russia, getting rich off China in particular. But you got a couple of Republicans who are getting rich in that club too. And, you know, you get an outsider like a Donald Trump, or like we were talking about, you know, someone from the outside who just has a devotion to their country, wants to get involved, but isn't part of the game. And so they don't get a lot of traction.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
And unfortunately, it's all too prevalent in two parties, which is why Donald Trump was such a threat.
It is such a threat because the guy's going to be in Sarasota on this weekend. That should be interesting.
And, you know, there's another extension of that, too. There's another guy who is not considered part of the club, but gained some prominence, and that's Rudy Giuliani.
Okay.
And I don't know if your viewers or listeners have heard the story, but Giuliani's law license was suspended in the state of New York.
Right.
And they're saying, that, well, we feel he told lies when he was talking about the election.
So what?
And well, that's 100% correct. Now, on Thursday night last, I had the opportunity. I was at a charity event, and I was sitting at a table with about 4 other lawyers and 5 judges. And the topic of conversation, of course, turned to Rudy Giuliani's law license. Now, this being Bronx, New York, all the other folks at the table were liberal Democrats, the lawyers and the judges. And interestingly enough, despite the fact they described themselves as liberal Democrats, they all began to talk about how terrible it was what was done to Giuliani and what a threat to the First Amendment it's become when, for simply speaking your mind, you can have your livelihood taken away from you. And this is becoming more and more prevalent throughout the United States. You know, we talk about cancel culture. We talk about how CEOs who contributed to a Republican campaign or not a progressive Democrat campaign wind up bounced from their jobs. Wind up how people who work for places like Google, if you say the wrong thing, you're bounced from your job.
Well,
this is just getting worse and worse.
Frank, you know, I've had that happen to me. Nobody came to my rescue. Nobody said, "Hey, Charles Butler's out here catching hell. I'm gonna give Charles a call. I'm gonna give Charles a hand. I'm gonna go to bat for Charles." Nobody said that.
That's exactly right, and that's exactly the problem. On the centrist and conservative side of the ledger, they don't really stick up for their own. And let me give you an example. You do a great show, Charles, right? And I strongly suspect if the focus of your show was progressive left, that you would have gotten rich sponsors, that people would have helped you right down the line.
Oh, yeah.
As it is, you're doing a great program, but no one in the center or on the right is really rushing to your help. They're not saying, hey, let's get you on, a wider platform, or let's get you some $1 million sponsors.
Right. And that's because, I'm right down the middle. I'm not an ideologue. I don't do talking points. I try to tell the truth. What's wrong with that?
Well, it's kind of the experience I've had in a couple of cases when I've written articles on different topics like the defense budget or things of that sort. And I will quote the people involved, and I'll say exactly what they said for both sides of the ledger. And I've had newspaper editors say, but you're not giving an opinion. I'm saying, no, I'm sticking to the facts. These are the facts as they are. I'm not selling an idea. I'm telling you the facts in the matter. And somehow in our society, particularly in the news profession, we've gotten away from that. You know, you're supposed to use your position on air or in print to sell a left-wing talking point rather than to tell the truth.
Well, people are very comfortable with folks who are not telling the truth. That's the whole point. We have that folks don't want you to tell the truth. They, as someone said, they really don't want to know the truth. They say they do, but they really don't.
I think that's true in a lot of different cases. And I think part of it is, you ever hear the psychological concept of denial, where something is beyond what you want to think about? It could be a disease, death of a loved one or something. And people just go into denial. I think right now we're looking, Charles, at our country, and we're seeing a nation that's greatly imperiled from Russia and China. We're seeing a corrupt administration in the White House, and incompetent as well as corrupt. We're seeing in our cities how city administrations are failing the people who live in the cities, particularly in the inner cities. And rather than talk about these things openly and honestly, we just want to go along with denial. We're saying, well, everything's going along okay. Or we're just going to demonstrate and say by demonstrating on a street corner, it's going to make everything all right, rather than looking at the fundamental causes of what the problems are. We're looking, for example, all the way back to the 1960s, where the Great Society programs did nothing but tear families apart, and cause more poverty, trillions of dollars wasted. But no one wants to talk about how accurate that is, how all the approaches of government have started these programs, which have gotten politicians rich from no-show jobs, from programs that they've made a fortune out of, but haven't helped a single person in a ghetto or in a neighborhood or any place else. Well, and we are in denial about that reality.
What I realized as a young man was that these programs provided jobs to the people who were working on the programs, but did nothing.
Exactly.
To help the people.
And it's more insidious than that, because a lot of those people who got jobs in those programs were pressured to donate to the right campaign or to volunteer for the right campaign. That's what it was all about. I saw a statistic that said of every $100 that was contributed to so-called anti-poverty programs, you're lucky if $5 actually went to the people who were supposed to help.
Well, I was working for an outfit called OIC, which was Reverend Sullivan's outfit. And that's when I realized that this whole civil rights thing was a scam. Now, mind you, I had a job through this scam, but I was never comfortable with that. I was always very, I didn't like it. I thought that something was wrong. And it was.
Interesting. How old were you when you had the job?
18, 19, summer.
And even then you could perceive that there was something not exactly appropriate.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the people weren't being helped. We were training people, but there were no jobs. So you train someone and they go to a training center. They show up every day for six weeks, and you check them off, and then guess what? They have no job to go to, and they're heartbroken. I looked into too many black faces as a young 18, 19-year-old young man, and saw the heartbreak of these people not having a job, who've been promised, if you take this training course, you get this education, and you're going to get a job. Didn't happen.
The story's been told too many times. That's exactly right.
And the thing is, it just continues to morph and morph and morph into this never-ending cycle of government jobs or government training programs. Yeah, I mean, Obama, what's this guy, Biden? We need education. No, you need an opportunity.
Well, what's fascinating, Charles? If you look at let's look at the educational system and how it's screwed up the country. In my father's generation and in your father's generation, I'm sure as well, there were jobs that didn't require a college education, but you could use those jobs as a springboard to something bigger and better. We used to turn out plumbers and electricians who made, frankly, more than a lot of white collar workers are making. We've closed down those academies. We've closed down those specialty courses in high schools, said everyone has to go become an English major in college. So now you have people who, has a job that used to require just a high school education, now requires a college education. The kid involved is now $100,000 more in debt from his tuition and has a skill that's barely marketable because everyone else in the country has the exact same skill.
Well, the other thing is, Frank, when we look at this for real, you have to stop and think. In the old days, you did not have to have an education. All you had to do was have the willpower. Before the computer age, the average education of an American millionaire was 8th grade. In the 80s, that changed. I mean, Bill Gates doesn't have a 4-year degree. Steve Wozniak didn't have a 4-year. Steve Jobs didn't have a 4-year degree.
Yeah, fascinating, isn't it?
No, it's what it is. I mean, the reality is, if you want to have a plumber, what General Motors and the big 3 automakers used to do, they bring you in, they teach you how to plumb. They teach you how to be a millwright. They teach you how to be an electrician. They teach you how to do whatever it was they needed you to do. They trained you on the job. You don't learn those skills in a school somewhere. That's all bullshit. That's Obama's bullshit. That's people, these liberal Democrats who think that education is the center of everything. These people who've never done anything. That's why I contend, and I will say this time and time again, we need to bring back the damn aft.
It's an interesting concept. I just want to go back to the plumbing. I live in a middle-class neighborhood in Bronx, New York. And the folks who, frankly, are doing the best are those who started out as electricians, carpenters, and built their own businesses in the classic American tradition. And these are the guys who are doing the best financially in this area. And, it seems that the traditional trajectory of how Americans used to go from, hard scrabble jobs to a better job and then building their own companies, becoming entrepreneurs, that's been sort of destroyed in our country right now. And you have this here, Eisenhower talked about the military industrial complex, talk about the educational progressive complex, where you send your kid to be indoctrinated into progressive ways in a college. They come out, there's no jobs for them, or they're competing with, everyone else who has the same stupid English degree, and they can't get ahead in the world. Maybe they're lucky they eventually get a job as a bank teller or, in an office work or something like that. Not making half as much as the other people are making who would have gone into building their own businesses. It's a slice of the normal trajectory of how America.
Look, man, it's 2:29. I know you got to scoot, so you got a minute to kind of summarize.
One fact that I wanted to talk about, and hopefully talk about a bit more next week. In the Black Sea, the Russians have fired on a British ship that they alleged was coming too close to Crimea. At the same time, halfway across the planet, the Russian Navy is sorting off the coast of Hawaii, about 40 miles off the coast of Hawaii, or if you listen to some reports, a lot closer than that. It's a real indication that the United States Navy, the Western navies, which used to be paramount, are now in second place to the Chinese Navy, which is now larger than the American Navy, and the Russian Navy, which has become even more sophisticated than it has in the past. Charles, we are in real danger. I know you have a distinguished history as a naval aviator. I know you see this, but I think far too often the media refuses to talk about these very real and very pressing threats.
Yeah, well, it's to their advantage.
Absolutely.
Not to. Hey, my friend, thank you again for being with me. I always appreciate you.
Fascinating show. I look forward to it next week.
Yes, sir. Take care.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey, folks, we're going to play a little announcement. take care of a little housekeeping. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Dan Perkins from America's Cannabis Conversation, and I'm here to talk to you about how you can take responsibility for your own health. CV Science products that can help you empower yourself against the COVID-19 virus are CV Acute and CV Defense. The Acute product is taken at an early onset of feelings of discomfort and works over 3 days to assist your immune system to fight off the virus. The second product is CV Defense, which is taken daily, and it helps to optimize the power of your immune system to fight off this virus. Recently on my program, I had an interview with Dr. Michael Lewis, who's been in public health for decades. I asked him about personal responsibility, and he said,
"You are responsible for your own health. Don't count on the government to provide you with a magic pill or a magic shot for your health. That is your personal responsibility."
If you want to empower yourself and take control of your health care, go to empoweryourself.info. That's empoweryourself.info and take care of your healthcare.
Hi, this is Charles Butler, the host of the radio show, The Reality Check with Charles Butler. At Asset Benefits, we provide our clients with the rates and benefits from over 20 top-rated life insurance companies. We make you informed decision makers about final expense, mortgage protection, and securing your family's financial stability with the loss of a loved one. Hey, don't wait. Pick up the phone and call 312-667-9111 for your free quote and evaluation. So don't leave your family in a financial crisis because of a failure to plan for financial needs. Please call us for a free analysis and quote at 312-667-9111. Thank you.
Hello, this is Dan Perkins, and I want to talk to you about CV Science's new product to give you a healthy immune system. The all-natural product is called CV Defense, and this supplement is designed to protect you against attack on your immune system. Take it every day. Keep your immune system and you healthy. Be proactive about protecting your immune system and protecting your body by defense. For more information, you can go to empoweryourself.info.
Okay, we're back, and I just wanted to share with you guys that we have a lot of things going on. I met with the Captain America today, and had such a wonderful time chatting and talking. And you got to check out his show. He's over on Salem at night, and I'm trying to come up with his card. Did I leave it in the car? Nope. Yeah, I have it right here. Captain. Yeah. So he is really wonderful guy. It's called the Captain's America Third Watch. Meaning when we call the third watch the midnight watch. From let's see, it's from 12 to 6. That's the mid watch. 12 to 6. So Captain Matt Bruce is a conservative, independent American voice for freedom, emanating from the Tampa Bay area. Veteran soldier and firefighter, the captain approaches news and events both nationally, locally, as an American first, period. Democrats, Republicans, and independents are all welcome to join the conversation because it is all about we and what we can do to keep America the best it can be. I agree. So right now, his flagship show is called, it's on 860 mobile app. You can download it, 860. You download it in Apple. You can download it in Google Play, am860theanswer.com. Or, it's there. Check it out. And their lineup. This is 860's lineup. In the morning, you got Matt Bruce from 2 to 6. Hugh Hewitt from 6 to 9. Mike Gallagher from 9 to noon. Prager from noon to 3. Phil Grandy from 3 to 4. Bill Buckley from 4 to 5. Jay Klusko, Seculo from 5 to 6. Larry Elder from 6 to 9. Mike Medved from 9 to 12. Interesting. Bang, bang, bang. Okay. I love this stuff. This is great. You can't make this stuff up. Wow. Can't make it up. Good people. See them all the time. Someone, Captain Matt gave me this. And what he said was, it's unclear if President Trump will run for the Oval Office again in 2024. But another issue is whether Mr. Trump would care to be the Speaker of the House when the new Congress begins January 3rd of 2023. What do we mean by that? You can be the Speaker of the House without being a member of the House. Let's go back and revisit that. You can be the Speaker of the House without being the member of Congress. How does that happen? I'm going to tell you in a second. Okay, I'm going to tell you in a second. This is fascinating. So the suggestion is that Donald Trump is going to be Speaker of the House and not a member. Neither one is currently a member of Congress. Is that allowed? The answer is yes. Though it would be a historical first, the Constitution does give the House of Representatives the right to choose their Speaker, but it doesn't specify a procedure. So they say, okay, we're going to elect a Speaker. We're going to open it up for nominations. I'm sure Scalise will come up. McCarthy will come up. Trump may come up. Now what? Buddy. Would that throw a rock in the middle of Nancy and the Democrats and Biden's presidency? If Trump became the Speaker of the House in the middle of Joe Biden's presidency, he would upturn the apple cart. What do you guys think out there that are my participants? I got 5 participants out there listening. What do you think? Let me see. Trump. Let's see. Speaker of the House. What do you think? Amazing. You can be Speaker of the House and not be a member of Congress. So that's what the thinking is, that this announcement is going to come about, and Trump is going to be out there as Speaker of the House. Now, they said McCarthy, despite GOP infighting, they have a strong chance. He has a strong chance of being Speaker, and he does. But I think he's a little weak. I think he's a little too nice. We need a Speaker that's more robust. Okay. So they go on to say that the problem is that they say there were suggestions that the former president might retry to seek a seat in Senate in the Congress representing Palm Beach, Florida, home to Mar-a-Lago. In an interview, though, with Wayne Allen Root, Trump argued that becoming Speaker might be better. He described the congressional district of Florida, currently held by Louis Finkel. Now, the district favors Democrats by 8 points. Frankel vanquished her GOP opponent, Laura Loomer, by 20 points. The former president even lost to President Biden on his home turf, 58-41. But supposedly, the Congresswoman won, but Trump lost. Can you believe that? A Republican Congresswoman won in a Democratic ward, but supposedly Donald Trump lost by, it looks like here, 17 points. Amazing. But the Democrat House of Representatives, the congressman, won by 18 points. But they go on to say that there's nothing, let's see here. We got that up. There's nothing in the Constitution that says the House members must reside in the districts they represent. It's true. Heading into 2020, Republicans are hoping to flip the seat currently held by moderate Blue Dog Representative Stephanie Murphy. Murphy took a pass. Murphy took a pass on challenging Rubio for his seat, Senator Rubio. The Republicans would love to win the seat of retiring Charlie Crist, like former President Trump's style. As a House neophyte, Trump would likely discover himself relegated to cramped quarters in House outposts with tiny offices on the upper floors of the Cannon or Longworth House. These outposts are congressional Siberias, a far cry from the commodious trappings of the Oval Office. True. Moreover, it is rare for any president to return to public life as a House member or senator. John Quincy Adams is the only former president to serve in the House. Adams was a member of the House for 18 years. After his time in the White House, he actually died in what was then the Speaker's office, just off the House floor, now named after Representative Lindy Boggs of Louisiana. Lindy Boggs. Andrew Jackson became a senator after leaving the presidency, serving among the same members who had recently convicted him in an impeachment trial. But Johnson fell ill and died shortly after serving in the Senate. Serves him right. One of the worst presidents we ever had, one of the most racist presidents we ever had, Andrew Johnson. He's the guy who pulled the federal troops out of the South, exposing blacks and taking guns from blacks so the Ku Klux Klan could ride roughshod over the people. Let's see. The House just had nominated for Speaker and seconded. He's put it on the ballot. Trump's put on the ballot. They have to vote up or down. They have to vote up or down on the guy. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, but it has been rough, I tell you. But that would be something if President Trump came back as Speaker of the House right in the middle of Joe Biden's presidency. Hey, look, let's take a little break. We'll be right back, okay?
Hello, this is Dan Perkins from America's Cannabis Conversation, and I'm here to talk to you about how you can take responsibility for your own health. CV Science products that can help you empower yourself against the COVID-19 virus are CV Acute and CV Defense. The Acute product is taken at an early onset of feelings of discomfort and works over 3 days to assist your immune system to fight off the virus. The second product is CV Defense, which is taken daily, and it helps to optimize the power of your immune system to fight off this virus. Recently on my program, I had an interview with Dr. Michael Lewis, who's been in public health for decades. I asked him about personal responsibility, and he said,
You are responsible for your own health. Don't count on the government to provide you with a magic pill or a magic shot for your health. That is your personal responsibility.
If you want to empower yourself and take control of your health care, go to empoweryourself.info. That's empoweryourself.info and take care of your health care.
Hi, this is Charles Butler, the host of the radio show, The Reality Check with Charles Butler. At Asset Benefits, we provide our clients with the rates and benefits from over 20 top-rated life insurance companies. We make you informed decision makers about final expense, mortgage protection, and securing your family's financial stability with the loss of a loved one. Hey, don't wait. Pick up the phone and call 312-667-9111 for your free quote and evaluation. So don't leave your family in a financial crisis because of a failure to plan for financial needs. Please call us for a free analysis and quote at 312-667-9111. Thank you. Okay, we're back. And, I was just checking some legal opinion about how the speaker's elected. And this one opinion from Bill Paxton, a former representative from New York, and Bob Dole, great statesman. They were mentioned over the weekend as possible candidates at one time for being the Speaker of the House. Well, neither one was currently serving as a member of Congress. And they go, is that allowed? The answer is yes. It would have been allowed. Paxton was a Democrat. Bob Dole, of course, is a Republican. They said it would have been a historical first, but certainly, it would be accepted. The Constitution gives the House of Representatives the right to, open quote, choose their speaker, close quote, but doesn't specify a procedure. This means every session of the House must first decide how to choose a speaker before it actually chooses one. Amazing. So I think this thing could happen, especially if we take back the House in November. Wow. The House does not require the nominee to be a member of Congress. So traditionally, Congress has adopted the following procedure proposed by Thomas Jefferson. First, the party caucuses. Each vote is to select a candidate. Second, the entire House votes on two nominees. Since the House members invariably vote along party lines in these elections, the majority candidate always wins. Thus, the really important election is the nomination vote within the majority caucus. And the House rules do not require that a nominee be a member of Congress. This fits Donald Trump perfectly. If he were a member of Congress, who would want to be a congressman sitting in a small office? Now, senators are different. Senators get the best of the best. But, there's the best of the best, and then there's the best of the best of the best. Those were Teddy Kennedy's office and Strom Thurmond. The best of the best of the best, bro. It was something. They were something. So, as I think about what's going on today, I've been talking about critical race theory in the 1619 Project. The problem that I see with those things is that they're being conflated. Critical race theory is an academic pursuit of using facts, qualitative data, quantitative data to make opinions and draw conclusions. The 1619 Project is an emotional diatribe from a number of left-leaning, race-baiting, hating Black folks. That's what I see. Now, I may be wrong, but I really am. And I think in this particular case, the bros got it wrong. They need to stand up. They need to stand put. They need to speak out on these issues because they're real. I'm just saying, critical race theory. Oh my God, it's teaching white people to hate themselves, white kids to hate themselves because they're oppressors, and Black kids to hate whites. And no, they're conflating two different things. But we'll figure that out. I'm gonna talk about that. So the question is, where do you find the time in the day to deal with all this stuff? I need a stenographer who just kind of walks around and just takes notes, Hey, I'll tell, hey, this is a great idea. Let's follow up on it. But that requires cash. So, oh man, it's too funny. Too funny. So I want to wow. This Congresswoman, I think she's a little wacko. She's part of the squad. Name is Congresswoman Presley. Good looking woman. She had some kind of disease. All her hair fell out. So she used to wear these gorgeous wigs. But, that was then. No, this is now. So I want to play for you what she talked about doing in terms of defunding the police. Okay, let's see here.
A radical reimagining of community safety and public safety, which means reallocating and not further investing in a carceral state.
All right.
Especially done when we have not yet ended qualified immunity.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's a big issue about qualified immunity. I don't believe in qualified immunity. And the reason I don't believe in qualified immunity is because it emboldened cops to pursue aggressive behavior. We had great policing before we had qualified immunity, which is basically a creation of the Supreme Court in the 1970s. You're looking at me awfully strange. You're like, oh, do I have two horns? No, the Supreme Court created qualified immunity in the 70s to deal with the police who were being sued personally by rioters for, various infractions. A lot of lawsuits were frivolous, but that's what qualified immunity grew out of. I'm not a qualified immunity guy. I'm just not. I guess because I wanted to see cops held accountable for their actions. And if you are hiding behind the city's war chest or the state's war chest, it's a lot different than having some of your items in the game, some of your personal items in the game. Qualified immunity. Wow. So this doctrine, in my opinion, has to end. Now, a lot of people, they want to fight it. They want, oh my God, we need qualified immunity. The question is why? Why do we need qualified immunity? If cops are doing their jobs, why do they need to hide behind the city and the state if they're not infringing on people's civil rights? Right or wrong? Right or wrong? So we have a sergeant who comes on. She's representing the other side, of course. And this is what she has to say.
This is the thing. He's talking about gun violence and stopping that by going after gun dealers. That's not the problem that we have. And it's great that he's going to provide more money, COVID money, to get more community policing programs out there. But we have got to hire police officers to fight crime, not do more community policing. We've been doing community policing since I was in high school, since the 1970s. We need police officers to be not vilified. We need police officers to be assisted in this fight against the incredible violence that we see in this country. And it's not just gun violence.
Okay, fine. It's not just gun violence. She's right. It's rape. It's carjackings. It's a lot of things.
Ainsley.
What else is it? What do you see?
Well, it's we have everything from petty crime to rape to carjackings to, there's a lot of gun crime, but there's also a lot of other kinds of crimes, and law enforcement needs support. We don't need to go after gun dealers. We need to go after gun criminals.
That's exactly right. We don't need to go after gun dealers. We need to go after gun criminals. Now, this is not rocket science stuff. They know this, but they keep trying to rile their base, and they keep trying to rile the public, us, about they're going to take our guns. We're going to take your blanking guns. That's what Joe Biden said. I didn't say it. Your president did. We're going to take those effing guns.
This is the thing.
Wow, we're going to take your effing guns. We'll wait for President to talk, right? So let's hear from former Detroit Senator David Craig. Let's see what we got.
Not the answer, that we do need police in our communities to keep them safe. And I appreciate him acknowledging that. And I think that will help us moving forward.
Chief Craig, he's saying he's going to give $350 billion from the COVID relief package to all of these different cities and communities. How do we fix the problem?
I got to tell you, and I continue to say it, his program falls short on a couple of fronts. First of all, he did talk very briefly, maybe 10 seconds, about having a properly functioning criminal justice system. We know that bail reform is a failure. We have criminals in the streets. That wasn't properly addressed. And then we talk about hiring police, pay overtime. Look, I'm certainly a strong advocate of community policing, but let's talk about New York. They ended their proactive policing programs, crime fighting, as the sergeant indicated. Where is that? So it fell short. We put a lot of focus on gun dealers. There's laws in place to address those transfers of guns to prohibited persons.
Yes, I support
so it really just falls short, and really it's a pandering to the progressive side of the party that really wants to defund and dismantle policing as we know it. There was no discussion about getting off of this whole ending qualified immunity. We know ending qualified immunity is a way to dismantle, disrupt.
That's it in a nutshell. Dismantle, disrupt policing. And they're not ashamed of it. They're very unabashedly proud to be dismantling police forces until they need to call the police. Kind of like a New York president of the New York Police Union said one night. He said, "Hey, Charles, we're kind of like that old sheepdog. We're loners, and we kind of move around by ourselves. We're not antisocial, but not social with the sheep. And then the wolf shows up, and everybody starts screaming, 'Where's Mr. Wolf? Where's Mr.
Kids
Wolf?'
to school,
But before
kids to school, kids to school.
Before that, people don't want to talk to you. They don't want you anywhere around. Oh my God, he has a gun. Yeah. Bad guys do too. So anyway, that was good. Hey, look, we are going to sign off Red State, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Got a great guest coming on. So tune in. Check us out. Red State Talk Radio. Charles Butler. Reality check. So I will see you tomorrow, guys. We're going to keep rolling out here. We got about 30 seconds. My clock is off. My clock on my computer and my clock on my desk are, they're a few seconds off, but that could be a lot, especially when you're trying to close out. Hey, look, thanks again. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, 2:00. Those of you on YouTube, stick around. We got to talk about one more. Oh, somebody just wrote something. Vicky Jones. What did Vicky write? Trump needs to go to prison He's a con man, a liar. He's only taking your Trump lover money. Most carjackings are done with guns. Okay. All right. So let's address Vicky. Vicky, the biggest liar was Obama. Second is Biden. Third, Clinton. Horrible people. Lied all the time in the presidency. So I don't know what you're talking about. If anyone needs to go to prison, it's certainly Bill Clinton for treason, for selling missile guidance technology to China. These are things you could look up on your own. Don't take my word for it. Selling missile guidance China to the Chinese, allowing China into the WTO because he was bribed $300,000 campaign donation by the head of the Chinese military intelligence group to Bill Clinton's campaign. That is a fact. 5 people were indicted. Chinese folks for giving money to Bill Clinton's campaign in 1996. It's fact, not hyperbole. It's not what I think. It's not, how I feel. It's just a fact that Bill Clinton did these things. So if anyone was lying to the American people, if anyone needs to go to jail, certainly Bill Clinton. Barack Obama, he was too lazy to do anything significant. But he's doing some things now that he may have to go to jail for. But they won't put him in jail because he's a Democrat with connections. I don't like Democrats. So, let's see, Trump wasn't responsible for the mass incarceration. No, that was Biden. Biden was responsible for mass incarceration. You should know that, Vicky, but you don't. Biden never gave to HBCUs. He has one in his state called Delaware State. He lied and said he went there. He started his college career there. He lied and said he cut his civil rights teeth marching with some black minister in Delaware. He lied. It's all been verified he lied. So you can look at Salon or any of those liberal rags, and they'll tell you the same thing. He's a lying SOB. So Michelle Obama was leaving, going to Sundance. I'm sorry. She's leaving, going to Accra. And it's really warm over there. So I didn't go. I did not go. But I can tell you what. I stayed here and I worked on Obama lying. And that's when he brought the contract negotiators in, because his body's so messed up. He's not very coordinated. He's not a very good athlete. Although when the camera's on, he throws the ball up, then he makes it. Go figure. That's what his best friend, Eric, Eric's last name, Eric Deer or something like that. Derree, something like that. Anyway, I'll give you the correct spelling. But I don't know. Just thinking. Vicky, let's see. The biggest Obama. Okay, biggest liar. I wanted to say biggest liar. Anyway, we're going to get ready to sign off. Get ready to get back to work. Do our thing. So look, thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow, we're going to have a great guest with us. And I'm trying to pull up the stuff right now. Let's see. Who we got tomorrow? Got Got Bannister Forrester. Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so who we got tomorrow? Bum, 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 bum. Oh, boy. I am tired. I need a rest. Let's see here. Okay, I can't find it. Who our guest is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I know we have one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can't find it. But we'll have guests and we'll do our thing, of course. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Can't find it. But hey, we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Check us out. Okay? Take care.